What's up, everybody? I'm John Middlekauff. You know what I need you to do. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got content for days reacting to every NFL game all the time, every single day. Subscribe, like the videos. Let's go. I thought I'd do this. A little, what the fuck is going on here rankings? Because there are a couple teams that I don't even know what to say. And I got three of them. And we're going to start at three. Three has to be the Cleveland Browns. By all accounts, and by every report, Schefter said this, Albert Breer today doubled down on this, they're going to keep four quarterbacks. Flacco's been named their starter. For whatever reason, they love Kenney Pickett. Do you know what Kenney Pickett reminds me of? Speaking of hiring, it's like you hire this guy to run your finances for a company. It's like, hey, he used to work at Goldman Sachs. Went to Princeton. This guy's sharp. Then you find out his dad was the biggest booster at Princeton and was the president of the branch that he worked at Goldman Sachs. Not quite as impressive. It's like, just because Kenney Pickett went in the first round does not mean he's a good player. He had one good year in college. It was like a historically bad quarterback draft the year he came out. And I'd say he got overdrafted by 75 spots, yet somehow coaches still love him. You have two rookie quarterbacks, which makes absolutely no sense. And one has like this cultural following, which clearly the head coach and GM didn't want. The other one made this comment, which clearly wasn't taking a shot at the player, but everyone, it's become a circus. And I don't understand. They were given an out to truly blow this thing up. Myles Garrett asked for a trade. So if they would have traded him, it wouldn't have been like, they just traded him out of the blue. He literally wanted to leave. And you could have got multiple ones, multiple twos, because you're not going to be any good. But instead, the owner, he's kind of like, he's fly by the seat of his pants sometimes, gets very emotional, gives him money. And I'm not against investing into players like Myles Garrett, but given their circumstances, it made no sense. I think this team's going to be a disaster. And listen, I always say this. The he said, she said shit, I never even pretend to have a clue. And clearly some of these guys, what she said has been a complete lie. And I am always on the side of, why don't we ever go after when she just completely makes it up about a domestic violence situation where you criminally go after her and then civilly go after her? And you're like, John, she doesn't have any money. Well, every dollar she does get moving forward, I'm going to get a piece of, because that's what she wanted to do to me. So I'm not acting like all these guys that the Browns have signed are a bunch of turds, but it got printed out and it's all over social media. The list of guys with domestic violence attached to their background, like, it's pretty crazy. I mean, and I say this all the time. They got an Ivy League head coach and an Ivy League GM, and they signed some character dudes. So they don't even pretend to give a shit. What Jason Light said, like, no assholes and D-bags. I mean, last year their second-round pick got arrested for pointing a gun at his fiance. Like, that's not alleged. Like, that happened. Some of the stuff this offseason is hard to know exactly what. And listen, I am all for, if she made it up, going after her ass and ruining her life, because that's what she attempted to do to you. But not everyone is just, they got a quarterback making a ton of money that has a pretty sketchy past. Number two's got to be the Dallas Cowboys. I've tried to mentally support, because it's so easy to shit on Dallas. Everyone's like, they're going to suck. It's like, well, are they? And now it's like, I don't know. There eventually gets to a point of like a line where it's like, I think they've kind of passed it, of how do you take this operation seriously? And I think Mike McCarthy, who was a real NFL coach, the guy won a Super Bowl in 2010, coached the Packers with Aaron Rodgers, which was a marquee brand, and had them kicking ass, playing at a really high level for years. So had everyone watching him, had a magnifying glass on their operation, like, just knows what he's doing. Now, we can nitpick him. Obviously, the playoff performances were pretty ugly. But to go from him to Brian Schottenheimer, and, with every year, Jerry feels like he's getting a little more, out there, losing a little bit. The Pistons upstairs aren't quite firing at the same speed. And you have to wonder if eventually it's just going to blow up and be really ugly. And that's kind of what it feels like. Every day there's a report like, yeah, Jerry and Micah just aren't talking. Like, let's go. How is this happening? I don't like. I get the Browns being like, yeah, Trey, listen, you're a 30-year-old guy. We signed you an extension a couple years ago. Like, this is a tough negotiation. Like, Jerry, you drafted this guy in the first round. He became a high-end, all-pro, Pro Bowl level player for you. Like, all these guys Jerry's extending are literally guys he's drafted. But he's the Al Davis quality comes more and more to light by the day. The rivalries, the marching bands, the upsets. Saturdays just got way more fun. College football is back, baby. Think you know the game? Put your college football knowledge to the test with DraftKings Sportsbook and turn your picks into big payouts. From live betting during the rivalry week odds boosts and so much more, DraftKings Sportsbook has everything you need to stay in the action from the kickoff to the final whistle. Here's the thing. We got a top 25 matchup happening this week in Ireland. Iowa State taking on K-State. I've been listening to a lot of people. My guy Josh Pate, Iowa State, a little bit of a sleeper this year. You can get them right now. Odds are subject to change. Kind of like Iowa State +3 this week. Across the pond, Iowa State +3. I think I'm going to hammer it. So here's something special for first-timers. New customers, bet just $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code JOHN. That's code JOHN for new customers. Get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Okay, final week of the season for LIV Golf. Wraps up a little Midwest swing, starting in Chicago, where I attended. Then went to Indianapolis and finishes up this week with the team championship. Jon Rahm won the individual title, 18 milli, beat out Joaquin Niemann, who won 5 times this year. And now we go to the team championship, which got a little Ryder Cup feel. Going match play the first couple days, singles and foursomes, to heading into the final day where it'll just be normal stroke play. And Jon Rahm obviously won the individual title. I like Legion 13, his squad, to win the whole thing and just keep collecting those checks and finish out the season in Michigan before guys like Jon Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, and Terrell Hatton head to the Ryder Cup here in a couple weeks in New York at Bethpage, where I kind of like the Euros. But, yeah, should be a fun week in Michigan. Hopefully anyone there enjoys it. It's been a good little Midwest swing for the team championship. And then number one, I don't even think there is a close second. Dallas and Cleveland are shit shows. What the fuck's going on with the Miami Dolphins? I mean, seriously. There was a Lions player. I didn't write it down, but when they joint practice, essentially he's like, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on over there, which is kind of unheard of. You usually don't see other players taking shots or even questioning what's happening. But I said this last year, and I listen, Shane Steichen is not getting off scot-free on this either. When Mike McDaniel said, like, yeah, I don't really know what to do when guys show up late, that finding them doesn't faze them. It's like, when guys are showing up late to you, they basically are telling everyone they have no respect for you, not as a coach, but as a human being. Because if you respect another human being, especially a superior, your boss, you show up on time. Football, it's like, hey, meetings at 8:15 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, right? It's pretty big. You're already there eating breakfast, working out, training. You're either in your seat or you're in your locker room. You're probably not at home. And then the Tyreek Hill situation, and it's not all Mike McDaniel's fault, right? The GM bears responsibility. The roster stink. This team's got a chance. This thing can unravel really, really fast. And I will say this about the Miami Dolphins. I do wonder if that's a desirable job. If that's one of those jobs where it's like, I don't even want to mess with it. I don't know if you can win there. I know it's a glamorous place, no state income tax, great weather most of the year. It's starting to get a feel where it might just not be like, oh, they're just hiring the wrong coach. That might be a toxic area. That might be an area where it's just never going to work. And Mike McDaniel clearly is over his head. You know, Flores, who was better than Mike, was awful with the offense and the quarterback, which can't happen in 2025. So it's like, I don't know what they do. But I would imagine everyone's going to get fired, and I think the question is, well, who do they hire? And who would even be interested in the job?